Rochester has one game standing between them and being crowned Division III state title champions. All they have left on their schedule is Hoosac. They handled Pentucket comfortably, winning by a margin of 14 in the South Sectional title game. The leading scorer on the night for the Bulldogs was Evan Santos. I got a chance to catch up with him and his twin brother, Will, to talk about the uniqueness of playing alongside one another and how they plan to prepare for the biggest game of their lives. Although the brothers can't confirm that twins share a sixth sense, Evan and Will both agree that they have a huge chemistry advantage over opponents.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. We definitely know how to play with each other well, definitely. I know exactly where to pass to him, where he is on the floor, and I know his hot spots and his cold spots.
Yeah, I feel like it's more just growing up with each other. We're so used to each other's games that I know his tendencies extremely well. That's why you saw we both blocked each other's shots, because we know our moves, and I know where he'll be in this situation or in that situation, so it just makes it easier.
Bulldogs coach Steve Cavallo admits he had a learning curve when the Santoses first joined the program, but he has that confusion under control now.
I figured it out. We figured it out a couple years ago. We went by sneakers for a while, and righty lefty. We had a thing about Hanover when they were coming in scouting, saying he's the righty, he's the lefty. But it's been good for a couple of years now.
While ORR has the twins straight, they have created headaches for previous opponents, despite the obvious facial hair difference between them.
One team, Hanover, they just started calling us lefty and righty. They wouldn't even go numbers or names. They just say, I got lefty, I have righty, and that's how it happened.
Cavallo finds great value in the tandem. Although they are constant scoring threats like their other teammates, their multifaceted approach lifts the team to another level.
You know, we're tough to scout right now, I think, to shut down. We're going after two main kids with Hoosac and their complementary roles. But, Will has come up big in some big games, the first Wareham game. Evan, came up early, some big games against Volk. But it's always been a balancing act between, 5, 6, 7 kids. So they're good for mid-teens any night, but they're also good for good defense, good IQ, good rotations defensively, athleticism, and so on. But I think, again, it poses some problems, especially when they run the floor against our opponents.
In preparation for their new opponents, the Bulldogs have identified Hoosac's main offensive threat and how they plan to approach him.
They have one good player, number 55. We're definitely going to have to work on locking him up and denying post entries to him.
Well, he's my height. He's probably has 40 pounds on me, and he's really good at getting positioning. He's not necessarily, he can't jump that high. He's not necessarily the most athletic, but he's really intelligent and knows how to get his body into the right spot to score.
Right now, after seeing them and watching them a little on tape and doing a little more research last night, our game plan is to run the floor, to overwhelm them with numbers out in the open floor. Defensively, we're looking to throw different schematic presses at them, really work their guards, wear them down defensively, mentally and physically, and get the ball into our shooters' hands as soon as possible. Obviously, when we have our point guard out there, we'd like to get him the ball, get Beatty and Menard spotting up for threes, and get the ball inside the Matt Valls. Defensively, they're going to see a mix of what we've been doing all year. I feel very comfortable with what we came in this year trying to do, and here we are, in the last game of the year in the state final, still with that same identity and still with the same game plan for all intents and purposes, with some matchups on the side.
Will is also confident that Hoosac will have a difficult time stopping the Bulldogs' evenly spread offense throughout the course of the game, and thinks it will be the big difference on the night.
Yes, yeah. It's really hard to shut down all 6 of our starters. That's a really hard thing to do, and it might just be my ego talking, but I don't think they have the guys that can match up with every single one of ours, on the offensive end.
Well, there you have it. We'll see if the Santos brothers and company will be able to maintain their well-balanced offensive attack against Hoosac. For South Coast Varsity, I'm Nick Fryer.